right now I am hanging out in my small trailer that we call Betty. This is a 16-foot trailer that we built from scratch ourselves. There was absolutely nothing in here. It's not completely finished, but we're getting close. Like, for instance, the bathroom's not done. The walls aren't finished in the sense of painting. The underneath here aren't finished yet. We still have some walls open. That's like a closet area that I'm going to figure out how to close off. There's quite a bit of work that we still have to do to get this thing fully finished, but that's not top priority. Right now, what top priority is getting this thing to a meetup that happens this weekend. And so we are kind of crunched for time, but I've put in a new electrical system, which is an electrical system by Blue Eddy, which is an RV5 system. And since I haven't had it on for a while, it needs a couple of updates. So I'm running through the updates right now. The system's back here in place, ready to go. The one issue that I have with this setup for how I built it, not realizing I was going to use the RV5, is my air conditioner is a 12-volt system. And that air conditioner could pull up to 60 amps in a spike. Typically, it drops down and pulls more like 30 and lower once it's on and running. But that initial turn on for that compressor to come on gives you like a bit of a spike. So with that being said, I have to hook up a separate battery system to be able to run that until I can figure out how I could actually run this off of my RV5 system. And is it even possible? Because it does allow for about 100 amps, 150 amps to come out of the DC side, but the panels that I have don't allow for, 60 plus amp currents to go through it. So I think it's possible, but I have to jig it to wire it to its own terminal box and then send that power to the unit itself. So what I'm doing for now, before I figure that out, is I do have these Bouge RV batteries that were originally installed in here. So I'm going to set those up so that way they're wired and they go up to this fuse, right? Or not fuse, this distributor block. And that will turn on the air conditioner, and that is strictly for that specifically. I will put a safety on it so that way we don't have any issues. But I do have to order some new things. So that's what I'm in the process of right now, is figuring exactly what I need. Another thing I did is I set up the whole water system and made sure everything's working properly. So that way, when we do get to the campsite, we could just hook a hose line up to it and we don't have to worry about, figuring out anything. We have running water. I have to turn on our propane, test that. And then we got to clean this space out, get everything out of here. So electrical, get everything out of here, clean it up. We've already taken care of the plumbing and just get it ready for the weekend. So it's not too tall of a task, but there's enough that we have to do to make sure that everything's running just right. And so at the moment, it looks like we are working on one last thing. This is the battery for the RV5, which is a 48-volt battery. And then this here is the RV5, the unit that does it's like all-in-one MPPT controller, charge controller, inverter, everything all in one. They did send me a display that I'm going to put in just recently. They sent this. And then this here is going to be the new fuse box, which is actually really, really beautiful. So stay tuned for that in a later video. They gave me a bunch of wiring. So I'm going to have to go through and figure out exactly how and where I'm going to install everything, because that's my biggest problem. Since I designed this space around a different battery system, these components don't necessarily fit like inside my wall or in my step up or wherever. So I have to like really get really good at what I'm going to do here. And so I think the way I'm going to kind of set it up is I'm going to utilize the space that I have here and what I've done here, and I'm going to make that wider. And yeah, it's a whole thing. But I do have to have a good leg to stand on when I do that. So it's going to have to wait at least like another month before I could get in the positions that I need to get in to be able to rewire and rejig everything. So it's perfect. If you don't know, if you're new here, I did just go through ACL surgery. I am actually like exactly a month out from that surgery today, yesterday, 31 days. depending on what month we're talking about. And so I feel good. I move around pretty well. I'm walking great. I'm already doing squats and riding a bike and just getting myself to a position where, here soon I'll be in a situation where I'm really just working on strength and getting that quad back. I'm already kind of there, but I feel good. The surgery went really, really well. What's so weird about the situation is like one moment you feel like you're progressing super fast. The next moment you feel like, am I progressing super fast? Am I doing well? And so it's like this guessing game that you continuously go through if you've never been through a surgery before. And so that's kind of where I'm at in my mind. I do always come back to feeling good, trying to stay positive, making sure my mental is in the right space, because what you think, what you believe is what is going to be true in the future. So I'm working on just continuously driving into my mind and into myself that I am doing really well, because I am, and to continue doing exactly what I'm doing. Because every time I go to my physical therapist, she says to me, like, Frankie, you're ahead of the game. There's only 2 people I have that are 30 plus years old, almost 40 years old, that are doing as good as you and that other person. You guys are absolutely killing it. So, don't stress it, and just feel good about your progressions, because it takes a long time to get back on track to like doing all the things. One of the things I looked up yesterday was like, how long does the tightness stay in your knee? Because that's one thing I'm dealing with, is like that tightness in the knee. And it said it could be 4 to 6 months before you get rid of all the tightness whatsoever or completely. And that's good news, because now I'm like realizing, okay, it's not just a me thing, it's an everybody thing for the most part. There is a lot of trauma in that space and still some inflammation inside the knee. Even though I've gotten down the inflammation a lot, considering this is like even after riding a bike and doing my squats and doing all the stuff this is my quad coming back to life here. So you can see it's flexing, it's firing, but it's not doing exactly what I want all the time. So we're getting there. And these are like where the incisions were. So you have a little bit of a bump there, a little bit of scar tissue, but I think that's all going to break down here in the near future. And I'm going to have like full mobility inside that knee. I think the pressure from inside the knee and the swelling inside the knee is kind of pushing onto that scar tissue and making it bulge out a little bit more than what it will be in the future. I have almost full bend already, and that is like the extension is what I heard. Sorry, am I saying it right? Flexion is the one thing that it takes a little bit longer to gain and get back. Like 2 to 3 months, 2 to 4 months is what it could be to get that fully back. And the extension is what like really, really matters. And so like even having like just a little bit of hyper extension is really important. And so I've been really working on that a lot. And that's why I walk with almost no limp already, because I have a lot of extension and almost hyperextension in that knee. But from day to day, it's hard to like keep like the joint feels a little bit sore and so on and so forth. So yeah, overall though, feeling good. So if you are out there and you're thinking, oh, I need a knee replacement, or I need an ACL surgery, or I need whatever, I think it's worth getting it. I went 8 months without having it. Tried to go back to sports after 8 months of tearing my ACL. I probably should have waited a little bit longer and did more workouts related to, strengthening everything around it. And then my knee buckled again, unfortunately, while playing basketball with my brace on. And so I knew at that point in time I had to get a surgery. But yeah, now that I've done it and I'm through what I feel is the hardest days, I'm in a good headspace. I'm feeling nice. So that's always great when you get to that point. Now, in here, we have a lot of work ahead of us. So let's get back onto this. We're going to turn on. So I enter this via Bluetooth, because I don't have my my Starlink set up at the moment on this unit. It's actually on the truck. RV5 not found. Let's see, Bluetooth, RV5. I don't know my password. I'm going to get back out and go back in. I had to send a like email response so that way I could get into it last time because I can't remember my password. So I'm going to have to change that. It's been a while, like I said, since we've been in this rig. All right, so we'll go into here. Bluetooth, connecting. Okay. All right, we are now connected. We're going to turn on the DC power. We're going to turn on the AC power. All right. Right now we have a little over or just about 200 watts of solar coming in. And then we also have 98% battery. We're only consuming 9 watts right now. I am going to have to turn on the fan here in a minute because it is getting a little bit warm, or I'm going to have to open those back doors. But this system's really cool because you could actually see everything that's going on, what's coming in, what's going out. And, you know, I love to have it. I love to see it. We are plugged in with AC, but it's off right now, the AC power coming from the house. And yeah, I'm just stoked that everything's working. I tested everything. Let's see, we'll turn this fan back on, get that back open. We're gonna have to clean that there. That's not a big deal, but she's up and running, pulling air through the space. That made it feel so much nicer in here, to be honest with you. This fan over here is working great. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Oh, light, fan, pushed out, good. We'll have to clean this screen as well. As you can see, everything got quite a bit dirty over the time that we been out of it. Yeah. This is a cool little fan though. This is a vent fan for when this door is closed and you're inside the shower and you have hot water coming through. We'll be able to, you know, utilize that. We do have like a little tub in here for Everly. I'm gonna have to make sure that this is our compost toilet. We're gonna have to make sure that's nice and clean and ready to go. The number 2 side is definitely empty. The number 1 side, I think I might have used once when I was trying to do some stuff in here and forgot to empty it. So that's gonna be a fun one to clean. But yeah, so we got our fans running, that's good. Our lights are working, that's great. I'm gonna test the fridge back here. This fridge looks like it's up and running up here. Yep, she's good, she's on. We got a little freezer here. So we are gonna have to turn this on, get it to the right setting again. I think I typically put it on like a 4 or 5 setting. It's nice and cold in there when that's going. Gotta be really careful in here. Biggest thing is gotta just get everything out of here. And then I've ordered 4-gauge crimps for this to be able to hook up those batteries to the bus bar there and to a switch here. And then I have a stint with or not a stint, but I have a circuit breaker here. So that way if we overamp, it will blow that circuit breaker. We won't have to worry about any issues with burning up lines or anything like that. It is an extremely short run, so we could use a little bit smaller of wiring for that. And overall, I think that's it. I think we're pretty good to go. And then we'll just get everything cleaned out, get all this stuff in order. Yep, this still works. Great. Does it though? Yep. Oh yeah. So right now it says the room temperature is 79. The set point for this is 70. So once that AC's on and kicking, we're gonna feel good. This is a split unit by Outquip Pro. So we have the condenser on the roof. The condenser you can mount in any position. You could mount it sitting up, upside down, to the side. So I love the idea of having a unit that I can mount the condenser however I want. And I didn't want to have a unit on my roof per se, pushing on the roof. So it's actually connected to our roof rack system up there. And then I was going to like bottom mount it. That was what I wanted to do. But this trailer is so low to the ground, I wasn't able to do that. It just wouldn't have been enough space or ground clearance. and the potential of like hitting that condenser, just I couldn't pull myself to do it. So I mounted it on the roof, and then our unit sits right here. We'll clean that filter there. Let's look at the filter on it. We did mount our remote right here. I'm gonna put you guys down so I can pop this open a lot easier. There's like 2 little pull tabs on it. Inside here. Yeah, that's kind of dirty. See, we'll wash this, get that all cleaned out. Wash it in the sink right here. But the unit looks great. Everything looks really good on it. I'm excited to run it again soon and make sure everything's up and running properly. I'm gonna leave that open until we get that filter back in. And I ran all the water through the hot water system, so that's also something I want to test. Make sure we get hot water out of it. It does take a little bit of time for it to heat up. It is a very small unit, and this is something I do want to replace. I want to get away from this electric one and install one underneath there, and that way we're not like going uphill and fighting a downhill battle to get that hot water all the way over to the other side of the unit here. So if I could get it closer to the shower and closer to the sink, and we have a unit that could be like more on demand, because this one kind of, you only get maybe 5 minutes out of it and then it's not working anymore. So I would like to have a unit that, this was a very cheap unit. It was like $100 max. And I just wanted something quick. Basically, all I was saying is that that hot water heater was really cheap. We tried working with a company that was going to hook us up with a hot water heater that they promised, and I don't know what happened to them. They kind of went MIA, and we never signed a deal with them, so no big deal. But fact of the matter is we wound up buying one really quick, so that way we could have hot water. That way we could give Everly baths on the road, and it's done a good enough job for that. It has allowed us to survive on the road with Everly and give her some hot baths while we were on the road. And even like to wash the dishes and stuff, it was really nice. Right now it is already hot, so we're gonna test that. Let's get back over here. Let's see how that hot water is working. It's gonna probably take a minute for it to actually flow to this area, but let's see. Also, that hot water should potentially have caused, let's see if the mic's still working. Yep. The hot water should have potentially caused like a little bit more pressure maybe. Let's see. All right, we're still cool, still cool. I think left is hot. So we gotta wash this anyway, so might as well knock off all this dirt on this filter here. Let that dry up. No hot water yet over here. But am I, let's see. All right, that's definitely cold. So this is why I don't love this hot water heater. It like takes, because of how far it is, one, it takes really long for it to get over here, the heat. And two, it's just not great. Like you get 5 minutes out of it max. I don't love that. I want more time with my hot water. I want like 15 minutes minimum, and then you could just like turn it right back on and it's ready to go. So that's why I want to go with a propane one, because propane like takes a very little bit of time for it to heat up, and then bam, you have hot water, you know? So still no hot water here. Let me just test this side again. Maybe it's, the good part is I have unlimited water right now. You can't hear the pump because it's connected to the fresh water hose, just allowing us to have continuous water flow here. I had it the wrong way. So I have hot water now. It's plenty hot for everything that we need. Woo! Yeah! All right, shut that off. We have hot water. So with that being said, like, I got our mic case a little bit wet. Good thing that's closed off. But with that being said, like, having hot water is a game changer in a rig. And we went let's see, what was it? 4 years with not having hot water in our rigs, like on demand at the sink. We did have a way to shower with like a separate unit, which was nice. And we utilized that quite a bit when we were by rivers and we had a fresh water source. Or if we really wanted a hot shower in like a colder climate, we were able to pour water into a bucket and then filter that out and get hot water. So 2 things I want to go over real quick. I want to say thank you so much for you gifting to the charity. That was one of the things that was missed on the last video when the mic decided to cut out at 17 minutes. The charity this month is for Paco. Not for him specifically, but for where we adopted him from, the South Coast Humane Society in Brookings, Oregon. Somebody just recently donated $200 anonymously. Thank you so much. The GoFundMe is in the link in the description. The reason why we're giving back to them is because when we adopted Paco, he actually saved our lives. So go read the story, go to the GoFundMe, click on it, read the story. If that gets you to donate, great. Thank you so much, everybody who has donated. And even if you haven't, thank you so much for watching these videos. I hope that you enjoy the chaos and somehow you get some clarity out of it. I know that I do all the time. I appreciate you. It's been 20 minutes. See you tomorrow.